The last video I saw that we have not put a ceiling in on my floor on my library. We put that fancy wallpaper. So let's go to the ceiling plan. We have a section for ceiling plans. We'll go to the first floor ceiling plan. And we can see that we need to put a ceiling in here. That is showing the closet, which is on the second floor, which we don't want to see. So VR for view range. I think we should see. Let's see what happens if we change that to 0. That's better. We still see the closet, which we shouldn't see, and we don't want to see the framing either in our ceiling plan. So we'll turn the structure off. VG for visibility graphics, and that would be S for structure. Structural framing, I believe. Let's turn that off. Don't want to see it. And let's see what this is. This is furniture, so we'll say VG. Take the letter F to get down to furniture, and then uncheck that. And looking good now. We can put the ceiling in. So we go to architecture, ceiling, and let's automatic ceiling and see what happens. We're just going to click in there, and look at that, put the ceiling in. Did it put it in the right place though? Well, I'm not sure, so we'll take the section line and cut through there. Go to view. And it did not. Look where the ceiling is. We want the ceiling up there. So we're saying that relative to the first floor, we want it to be 8 feet above. And that's where Revit put it, but we really want it to be up here. Let's see if we can put it to the top of the first floor wall. And with a 0 offset, let's see what happens. It went too high. So that ceiling. Let's see what it is. It looks, let's edit the type just to see the properties of that ceiling, and we'll edit the structure. And it's 5/8 of an inch. All right, we'll leave it at that. But we've got an issue here that the ceiling should line up with the bottom of these ceiling joists. So let's say -5/8 and see what happens. Yep, that's where we want it. It lines up with the top of the wall, and it's also the bottom there. So that's good. Let's go back to that. Look at all the things that I have turned on. I've added this button to my quick access toolbar, close inactive views. So I'm going to close all of the tabs that are up there except for this one, which is open. And then we'll go back to the ceiling plan, first floor ceiling plan. And then let's type WT so we can see both views at the same time. I only have 2 open. ZA for zoom all, so it zooms out to all of them. It looks like I've selected the ceiling. Let's change it to a 2x2 system just for our grid. We want that grid in there. And now we'll go over to architecture, component, and let's put in some light fixtures into the ceiling. So let's type light and see what happens. There we go. 6 inches incandescent. That looks good. And we're using, just use the grid and then we'll change it back. Let's put one here. Let's get as close to that as we can. And then let's skip 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put one in here. And then let's skip another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that looks like it'll work. Having a little trouble getting it right where I want it. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at what I just did. So 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. Now what happens is this light fixture should illuminate over 2 and over 2. This light fixture will illuminate over 2. We're talking about on the floor or the surface of that room. So it looks like we'll have some even lighting. And then let's see if we can grab those. I'm holding the control key down just to grab all 3 of those. And I want to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I put one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's see what happens. Copy from where? Well, let's copy from here to here. And then let's put one in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so let's do the same thing. This one, I'm holding the control key down so that I can grab more. 2, 3. And we'll copy that from where? 1, 2, 3. I think to here. That was from 1, 2, 3. Should still work. And it did. And I don't want a drop ceiling in the library. I want an actual gypsum board ceiling. So we will select the ceiling. And I always found it easier to select the ceiling in the section than trying to select it in the plan view. And we'll change it back to our gypsum wallboard. And it's looking good. Let's go back to the first floor plan. So what we did was we just put the ceiling in. And I think this guy is too thick. So I'm going to grab and pull it back a little bit more. I think it looks better, a little bit thinner. That's just an extrusion that we made previously. Let's take a picture right here. And so we'll have interior lighting, which will light it up a little bit better. Let's do that. Stretch it out a bit. Okay. Now I want to close all of the inactive views, and I want to close this. And I'm going to say Zoom E for Zoom Extents, and I want to render that, but I want to go to my render button first and say what kind of lighting. Instead of just exterior sun, we're going to do sun and artificial, which would turn these lights on. Then we'll go to our cloud rendering, render in cloud. And I picked my final and high resolution, maximum, and start rendering. And you can see that we have really nice uniform lighting here. The wallpaper is, I'll show you how to change the scale in a future video of the wallpaper because it looks a little bit too small for the scale of the wallpaper. We can make it bigger. But if we put this is area lighting if you're taking my systems class. And if we put a light or a lamp on the desk, that would be task lighting.